Sometimes if you ever listen to two people who have come to discuss the same situation, and I've experienced this couple of times, and if I have to meet them once, just meet them one at a time. So if I meet the first person, I will understand the complete situation from that person's perspective. And you tell them, okay, now I need to meet the other person. And 15 minutes later, you're listening to a story which sounds like a completely different story altogether. And so when you meet the first person, you feel, oh, this person is right, this person has been wronged. But when that person walks out and the other one comes, you're like, no, this person is right, this person has been wronged. Because both of them were right. But both of them could only see their side. And so both of them go and sit with an unbiased third person. The unbiased third person has to do nothing. Just be there so that their conversation does not shift to an argument. And gently show them, you know what, this is their sanskar, you know what, this is theirs. And while sitting there, they say, oh, this is yours. Ah, acha, this is mine. Okay, fine, take it. That is the role of a third person. But if that third person adds another third angle to that clock, that's why when you share your problem, be very careful that one, don't need to share. It should be resolved between two of us. But even if you share, never share with someone who already has a bias. So in a marriage, if both have this habit of going and sharing whatever happens between the two of them, either with their parents or with their siblings or with their friends, then that conflict was of this size. But very soon it becomes, because each one they share with all pure intention. Everyone's intentions are very pure, but everyone's sanskar is going to be different. So everyone who advises them gives another dimension altogether to the situation. And that layers and layers of perspective, that situation turns out to be a actual situation which can make them separate. Only because too many people got involved. So involving people into your problems is not the best of idea. The karmic account is between two souls. Let those two souls resolve it. And if you want to take advice, it can be from a family member, but that family member has to be detached, completely detached, equally respectful to both, and equally understanding for both. Not that I'm more biased towards my child's opinion. And my attachment is making me feel it's my child who is suffering, whereas it could have been the other child who was suffering more, but I won't be able to see it because I'm attached to my child. And that's why giving an advice, helping people to resolve their conflict, it gets so complicated sometimes that the karmic account just only gets. And going and sharing it with friends and just talking it out with people is a big, big. It will only add everyone's vibrations to it. You can only go and talk to someone who is not going to talk about the other person, which means, again, you go to someone and you know what, so she's saying it has 12 numbers. And that third person has to only say to you, if she's saying she can see 12 numbers, there must be 12 numbers. That's the role of that third person, that's it. The role of that third person is not to say she is wrong, you are right, no. The role of the third person is to show you that side which you are not able to see. And so the role of that third person is, you may go crying to that third person and say, I have been wronged. And the third person will say, no, the other person, what they are saying, they can see it. This is what they are, start understanding them. Then that third person is playing their role, right? Otherwise, that third person can create a big complication. So be very careful. One, don't go for advice in your karmic accounts. It is you who has to solve it. And second, don't give advice very easily. It's a sense of power, when people come to us, what do you think I should do, so and so, and we are like very ready. If we had to take our own decision, we would have taken hours. But because it is their decision, oh, isme kya choti si baat hai, do it like this. Why are you with that person? You should not be suffering so much. This is not the kind of advice we need. Because the third person is another third sanskar, another third side. And so issues are not that complicated. It is our thoughts which are complicated, which are making us believe that the problem is complicated. It's not issues that are complicated. It is thought process which is complicated. So all that I need to understand is that each one of us is a soul on a journey. And each one of us is going to have different sanskars. Are you ready to accept that much? Yes? How many of you got married matching your astrological chart? What did the Panditji say that day? How many sanskars are matching? How many sanskars are matching? Even if 10 sanskars were matching that day, 5 years later, sanskars have changed. Maybe more could match, maybe less. We don't know. Because a person is not going to remain what the person is. We are changing. And today we are changing at a very fast pace because of all the content that we keep consuming. Our sanskars are changing because we are just flooding ourselves with information of a very different spectrum of emotions. So it's not about, oh, earlier you were like this, now you have changed. They did not sign a guarantee contract, I will remain like this for the rest of my life. So no playing the victim card even there. We are all going to keep changing. Only that we can take care that in which direction are we changing. Everyone's changing. You cannot remain what you were. Everyone is changing. But in which direction are we changing? So even in one lifetime, our sanskars are changing. But I, the soul, is not about this lifetime. This lifetime is about this body, these relationships, these situations. I am a soul on a journey. Any couple here? Any young couple? Anybody sitting together? खड़े हो जाओ जरा 1 minute. How old? How much? 42 up? 40. Okay. 40 years in this costume, 42 years in this costume. Married for how many years? Why did you laugh? Why did you laugh? क्या हुआ? Huh? They had to confirm with each other. Achha. They didn't want to go home and fight that you don't even remember the number of years. You might as well check right now. Okay. Similar for you also? Yeah, okay. So now visualize 40 years in this costume, 42 years in this costume, together for 12 years. That means when they came together, 30 years in this costume, 32 years in this costume. 30 years of this lifetime was also different from his 30 years. Completely different. Different families, different situations, different scenarios, maybe different regions where they lived and they were brought up, and then they suddenly come together. There itself, there's a lot of adjustment. My initial 30 years are completely different from yours. But the journey is not about 30 years. Before those 30 years, where was she? 30 years in this costume. Before that? Hanji, bolte jaiye. Before that? She was in another costume. And where was this soul, the other one? In another costume. Let's say 100 years in that costume, he 100 years in that costume. So total how many years different? 130. Before that, another costume. And he, before that, another costume. Another 100 years, so 230. And like that more and more and more. So they haven't been just different for 30 years. They have been different for probably 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 30 years. Can they have identical sanskars? Is it okay to be different? And now what do we do? How do we live with that difference then? How do we live with that difference? Never look at each other and say, how can you be like this? And from today, you record one line. If anybody looks at you and says, how can you be like this? Bola, I've been on a long journey of 2,000, 3,000. That's why I'm like this. That is why I'm like this. And even you are not like the way I want you to be. You are also different because you have also been on a long. So shift from expecting the person to be your way to understanding that this soul has been on a long journey. In 30 years, so much is happening in somebody's life. Can you imagine? 50 more lifetimes, 100 more lifetimes. What all the soul sees on the journey. How much betrayal, how much wrong, how much trauma. Do we have any idea what a soul has gone through? How many times somebody left that soul? How many times that soul saw untimely death? How many times that soul saw their family leaving them? What all every soul has seen and come. And then we just look at them like this and say, why don't you not trust me? I am so loyal. Please remember, it's not about me. It is about what that soul has seen in many lifetimes. So today, first homework. How can you be like this? This line has to go. I understand you. It doesn't mean I agree with your sanskar. It just means I understand that you have been on a long journey. Like, sometimes when the other person is tired, we say, I understand you had a long day. So at the end of that day, I can understand your fatigue. I'm not very happy doing all my work on my own, but I understand your fatigue of your long day. If you can understand one long day, understand this is many lifetimes trauma that souls are carrying. Many good sanskars, many beautiful sanskars, but some wounds, some trauma can come from this childhood. We are meeting so many couples where the issue is only in their childhood. It's not even in the past lifetime. But even that childhood trauma is their personality today, no? And that personality is difficult for the other person to handle. But it's very easy. We can help each other to change their sanskars. But the first sanskar we need to create for that is, I understand you. I accept you. Full stop. And I accept you doesn't mean you remain like this for the rest of your life. I accept you means no critical, judgmental thinking here. And now my acceptance will become the power that you will use to start changing that sanskar which is not comfortable for you. Ready? Children? How old? They didn't look at each other for that, okay? Now see the journey here. Two souls. Look at it like a CD with a lot of songs on it, okay? Two souls with 1,000 years come here like this, together, so much that is different. And within 2-3 years, there is a third soul who comes into the house. And for 9 months, both of them thought a blank CD is going to come. So, mera bacha aa raha hai. Mera. So we thought it's going to be a blank slate. And we will write on that slate the sanskars we want. But that soul coming into the family was not a blank slate, right? Both your children similar or different? Very different? Very different. Understood? Same parents, two children? Very different. Because they are not two children of the same parents. They are two souls with another 1,000 years journey. Yeah, it's quite complicated, right? But this understanding makes it easy to understand them. Otherwise, the parents look at the children and say like, is this my child? Ye mera bacha. Because sometimes that soul can have a sanskar which is completely. I have met parents who say, mujhe pata nahi shayad badal na gaya hoga hospital mein. I will say like, frustration ki bhi kuch limit rakho. Kya bolte ho? Because so unbelievable sometimes. Very unbelievable. Very unbelievable. A parent is like honest, ethical, never lied. Child turns out to be a cheater. What does a parent do? They say, this person cannot be my child. I have not given him this value system, this sanskar. But it is not about you. That soul has come on a long journey. So acceptance is not between these two souls. And it is these two souls who have to accept the next soul which is coming. But it all becomes easier when we understand they're not my husband, my wife, my children. Soul on a journey. And compassion, that this soul has seen so much on that journey. And now we are together, we can use this time to heal each other. Not to consume their pain, but to heal each other. And what do you think on this journey? Have they met each other before? Another complicating factor. Have they met each other before? How do you know? Did your Pandit ji tell you? सात janam mile the? Nahi? Yes, why does the Pandit ji say, or why is it there in our scriptures that 7 times you will be together? So it's not about 7 times. It's just about when you're coming in such a strong karmic account. A husband-wife relationship is a very strong karmic account. No, you're going to be with each other for... It's not the first time you've met. That's why you've come in such a strong karmic account. You have met before, not necessarily as husband-wife, husband-wife, husband-wife. So it's not that 7 times you're coming as that relationship. But we have met before. Neither are you meeting your spouse for the first time, neither are you meeting your children for the first time, neither are you meeting your parents for the first time. Anyone who's in a close, strong karmic account, we are not meeting any of them for the first time. So now the third complication here is that the previous time that we met, what karmic account we created with each other. Now these 2 souls both have beautiful sanskars. She gets along with everybody. He gets along with everybody. But, and everyone says she's a wonderful person. Ye jis ghar mein jayegi bahut sukh degi sabko. Their family is fortunate to get her as their daughter. And everyone on his side is saying, Hamara beta to hira hai. She is lucky to marry him. And they both are right. Because he gets along with everybody, she gets along with everybody. But, and then everyone says like, how can it possible? He's such a nice person. Everybody says, oh, she's such a nice person. They get along with everyone. But they're having problems with each other. Kyun? Why? If he has such beautiful sanskars, he can adjust with everybody, adapt with everybody. Everybody is giving him that certificate. Everybody is giving her the certificate. They both have those good sanskars. So now here it's not an issue of the sanskar. But why is that sanskar not working with each other? Because last time when they met, they were not their perfect self last time. And they have created a karmic account and come. Now the sanskars may be beautiful, but their personal karmic account is complicated. And so now it's not about changing each other's sanskars, but it's about healing that karmic account which both of us have created and come here. But if they too choose to separate, and they think that their karmic account is over, it's not, they will meet again. Karmic account doesn't get over just by separating. Karmic account gets over where you have resolved everything here. Or karmic account is over when that person never comes on your mind, even in one single thought, even in your dreams. Karmic account is over. Otherwise, it will still remain a pending karmic account and hum fir milenge. So instead of resolving it that time, why not put in a little effort this time? Karna chahiye, nahi karna chahiye. And so now when both of them are having an issue, whose fault is it out of the 2? Whose? So don't waste your time thinking who is wrong. That's such a waste of time and energy. Who is wrong in this? Even family doesn't need to sit and discuss who is wrong. Because it's not about wrong and right. It is a past karmic account which these 2 souls have carried, and when they're going to come with each other, it's only going to go like this. And now, give both of them the strength, the gyan, the power to heal that karmic account so that they create a beautiful karmic account this time, and when they meet again, next time it will be even stronger than now. This is life. Life is not husband, wife, children. Life is souls who have been together on this journey. They have been in different lifetimes. They've gone through different experiences. They are carrying all those sanskars, and they have come with karmic accounts. Now with 2 children that they have, even with them, they have karmic accounts. Now those 2 souls will have a different karmic account with her, and those 2 souls will have a different karmic account with him in their past lifetimes. That's how this whole journey of energy and karma is entangled. But when we remember that entire picture and then we see the situation, then coming up with what to do now is easy. Which means, see the situation from here. Like when we are on a flight, everything is clear? Everything is clear. You can see everything because you are detached from that situation. But if I see the situation from here, he's not being right to them, my son has a problem with him, my other daughter has a problem with her, then we're only looking at it at this level. It's not here. The problem is not here. Look at it here. It's from here that you will be able to solve it. Here it will only get. When you look at it here and say, this soul and this soul has a past karmic account. That is why they are getting entangled repeatedly here. One of these 2 have to start radiating good energy to the other one. If both of them are not able to do, then I will send good energy to both of them and help them to change their karmic account. That is when you look at the picture from here. Look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is of many lifetimes. Thank you so much. Betty. And then tolerance and adjustment and understanding words become very simple. Very simple. Then forgiveness becomes very simple. Letting go becomes very simple. Because if we don't do it this time, anyways we'll meet again. Anyways we'll meet again. So why not resolve it this time? Why not heal it this time? Why not strengthen it this time? So that this lifetime is beautiful, no karma baggage, and when we meet again, powerful.